Back where I come from, in the land of 10,000 lakes and 9 months of winter, an amazing thing happens when you pull onto an exit ramp on a freeway in the middle of winter. You'll be at the stoplight and you'll look over and you'll notice that people, when they're stopped at the light, they flick their cigarette butts out the window and they just kind of sit on the pile. And there they gather day after day. But it snows, as it's wont to do in Minnesota, and it covers up the trash. And so now you pull up to the light and it's like, there's nothing there. But then it doesn't snow for a while and more people keep flicking their cigarette butts out the window and it builds up. But then it snows and it all gets covered up and you are deceived in thinking there's no problem here until the spring finally comes in July. The sun starts to shine, it melts the snow, and then you've seen a few cigarette butts throughout the winter months, but now the heat of the sun melts the snow and reveals hundreds and hundreds of trashy cigarette butts. Now, were those cigarette butts ever really gone? They were only covered up. How many sins have been merely covered up in your home? May I ask you? Or maybe you just overpowered somebody like this. Hey, I pay for that. You keep talking like that and you can just hit the bricks, Pally boy. Okay, did the sin get resolved? Nope. Boop. Another sin, another piece of trash. Oh, it gets covered up by power, by authority, by wit, by sarcasm, but it never disappears. But one day, I promise you, it'll build up to the point where somebody busts. Someday, you will recognize how much garbage there is in your house that has not been rightly dealt with. And the way that you will know is that things have gotten beyond repair, it seems. That somebody's talking divorce. That kids are leaving the house at the age of 16. They're talking about, if you've got kids saying things, I can't get away from you, and you go to church, and yet, if that's going on in your home, it's built up. It's built up. What do you do, Christian? How do you deal with that? Guess where we need to go? Back to the cross. You need to go back to the cross, which says, you are so wicked, which allows me now to approach Adrian or anybody else, not with pride, not with wounds, even if I have been, but with humility, recognizing I'm the bigger sinner, which permits me to say, I'm sorry. I was wrong that I said that. Will you forgive me? And when you say those seemingly magic words, the cigarette butts disappear. But it will only happen when you are thinking in light of the cross which testifies, you're the worst one in the conflict. How dare you condescend? How dare you get angry when your sins killed the Son of God? When we hear the nails of Jesus rattling in our pockets, it allows us to say, I'm sorry, I was wrong. Do you have conflict in your home? Get to the cross.